Today's been a crazy day for Destiny news. There was a trailer for the upcoming dungeon, a TWID going over the return of the Vanguard's Ops playlist, as well as a blog post from Bungie going over the Renegades content roadmap, and it also basically serves as an apology. Bungie apologizing to the Destiny community for the not very good content over the past few months. Just quick thoughts before we get into the meat and potatoes. Based on what Bungie has said in this article, the Renegades content calendar article, I am optimistic about the future of Destiny because I think Bungie truly does know that they messed up with Edge of Fate, that the portal is hurting the game and is slowly killing it. I don't think Bungie wants Destiny to die, and I think they're trying to do everything they can as quickly as possible in order to bring the game back from the brink. And they go over some of the changes they're making to the game to hopefully help alleviate some stress the game is experiencing within this article. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video, the new Renegades content calendar blog post that Bungie just released today. But before I get into the topic, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Donkey and welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm trying to hit 1,500 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you enjoy my content, I'd greatly appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button down below, but let's get into the discussion. So I'm not going to read this article word for word because I've noticed that whenever I do that in these videos, my viewer retention drops off a cliff. So instead, I'm just going to summarize the article using my own words instead of reading it verbatim from the article. Bungie starts off showing us the roadmap, going over what is coming in the first 2 weeks of Renegades. There's a whole bunch of stuff there, obviously talking about the Renegades campaign, a bunch of new exotic weapons, a new portal category featuring 6-player activities, and as well as some other things coming out like the new Vanguard Alerts playlist, which is basically a remake of the Vanguard Ops playlist, which is going to be added to the seasonal hub within the portal. But quickly after Bungie shows us the roadmap, they go into a bit of a reflection over the outcome of these last 3 months since the release of Edge of Fate. For the first time in I think a very long time, Bungie admitted that they messed up, that what they did was wrong in terms of the health of Destiny 2, how their changes, whether it be the power grind or the portal itself, it hurt the game. It made the game worse to play. You know, Bungie said it surrenders too much of Destiny's feeling of place and exploration. Duh. Think of how many times Bungie has made mistakes throughout the entirety of Destiny, and they've time after time come up with some kind of excuse, some way to distract from the problem because they don't want to admit fault for the problems they create with their own game. Think about the 2023 State of the Game article where every problem about the game, they said, game dev is hard, guys, and they didn't really apologize for the bad state of the game at the time. But at least now in this article, Bungie is acknowledging we messed up. They did something wrong. And you know, Bungie doesn't expressly say whether, you know, they're going to move away from the portal or and slowly sunset the portal. But I think based on, you could say, the vibes, or based on Bungie's acknowledgement that these systems, that the portal is hurting the game and has made the game worse over the past 3 months, I think it is in a way a bit of a hint or a bit of a reveal that the portal, I think, will slowly be walking itself out the door as they slowly sunset and move away from that system, which I think is the best choice Bungie could possibly make for the future of the game. And Bungie wraps up this reflection section of this article talking about how, you know, what we're seeing here, the Renegades content roadmap, it isn't the roadmap that DMG was talking about on Twitter, but the true proper roadmap is going to come in the new year, and it's going to be released alongside a State of the Game article, and it's going to cover the multi-year future of Destiny 2, which to me is pretty exciting. I did make a video talking about how we need a State of the Game and we need this roadmap. We at least have some projection over when this roadmap is going to be released. It's going to be released in the new year. I can't imagine it's going to be any time past January. You know, it's at least there in the foreseeable future, and it's going to be talking about the next couple of years, which to me is the most important news out of this article we got released. Bungie covers vault upgrades as well as universal exotic ornaments in this article. But what to me is most important is just those few sentences, which is talking about the multi-year future of Destiny 2. I made the video about we need the roadmap. And I said, it's hard to think that the game has any future when there's no communication about what the future is, right? A lot of Destiny players, we're stressed, we're worried about the state of the game. Destiny 2 is my favorite game. No matter how much I criticize it, how much I can trash talk it sometimes, it's my favorite game. And I don't want the game to die. I don't want the game to be unplugged. I don't want the game to be sunset. I want the game to continue. I want another 10-year saga of Destiny greatness. I would love that. But when the state of the game is as dire as it is, and there is very little communication about the future of Destiny, the mind does tend to wander about where the game's gonna go, especially in the current gaming landscape where gaming studios and video games are being shut down left and right. New World being shut down because of layoffs at their studio. And because Bungie has a history of layoffs, the mind starts to wonder and you start to worry, is Destiny gonna stick around? And so this multi-year future that Bungie has planned for Destiny 2 does give me some hope about what they're going to do to fix the game. Obviously, there's the potential that the damage has already been done, that players who left after Edge of Fate are never going to come back. There's too many other good games out there. Maybe they moved on to Arc Raiders, or they moved on to some other game that is more respecting of their time, or that sucked them in to that world or that universe, and they aren't super compelled to come back to Destiny 2. The way I feel about this is I don't necessarily feel like every player who has left after Edge of Fate is a lost player who's never going to come back. I'm a firm believer that if the content is good, the players will come. A lot of people were skeptical about Arc Raiders before it came out, whether it was actually going to be a success, or if it was just a game people talked about but no one was actually going to play. But when Arc Raiders came out, it was a success. People played the game, and that game keeps breaking player numbers. It's the record player numbers in the game keep going up and up and up with each day. So if the content is good, the players will follow, and I think that's true with Destiny 2. Even if the game is slowly aging more and more and more. Think about Lightfall. How old was the game when Lightfall came out? The game was incredibly hype at the time. Season of Seraph set up Lightfall so well that so many people who hadn't played Destiny in years came back to experience that expansion. And it broke a record player numbers in Destiny 2 on Steam. Although Lightfall was a failure, it was not a good expansion, and it did drive more players away after breaking the player number record. It still shows that if the content is good, at least in the lead up to the expansion, it'll bring players in, right? And so if Bungie has plans to rework the game, to potentially sunset the portal, to rework the power system and maybe the loot system again, and maybe rework the tiers so it's not as punishing if you get anything below tier 4. And on top of that, they put out some banging content. I think the game is on the pathway to recovery. We just have to wait for the New Year's, and hopefully things will look up. Hopefully the state of the game and the true multi-year roadmap will paint a positive picture. And there's always people who will say, this isn't a W. Why are we celebrating Bungie fixing the things they broke? These things should have never broken in the first place. So I'm not gonna say W. I'm not gonna do anything. These are problems that should have never existed. And my response to that is yes, of course. The portal should never have existed. The way these systems shipped should have never happened. But you at least have to acknowledge that things are bad and things are looking like they're going to get better. I have no interest, I have no desire to look at Bungie's attempts to save the game, save their dying franchise. I have no desire to put down their efforts to say, oh, it should have never happened. I'm not that spiteful. I'm not going to deny the reality of the game having a more optimistic future than it did a couple of months ago for no reason other than just because Bungie sucks or whatever. I just don't have that feeling in my heart, right? I'd rather say I'm excited that the game is looking better. I'm happy that Bungie is acknowledging their mistakes, how it seems as though based on the vibes, the portal is going to be either reworked or completely sunset, and Bungie's trying to put the game back on the rails, right? I'm happy for that. I'm excited for that. I want to spend my time in this game. I want to be excited to play Destiny. Throughout the ups and downs, I've been here. You know, I made videos. I played the game. And I want to keep playing the game because I love Destiny. And if Bungie can bring it back, then I'm happy for that. I don't want the game to fail, and I want the game to succeed. Grandmaster Nightfalls are coming back, baby! Okay? I'm excited. Shoot me. Call me a shill. I don't care. I'm happy. I'm excited. W. It's a W. I want everyone in the comments calling me a shill right now. Call Donkey is a shill. I want to see that all in the comment section, please. That's right. I'm one of them. Let me know what you guys think about the future of Destiny in the comment section below. But yeah, that's all for me, guys. And I hope you have a good rest of your week. If you enjoyed the video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button and the like button down below. But that's all for me, and I'll see you soon in a video coming soon. Peace out.